everybody. Welcome back to the 30 Minutes of Fame podcast. Not just 15, but 30. I'll tell you the story where that came some other episode, but it's someone I was with used to say, "You're only looking for your 15 minutes of fame." Well, I've had 30, so here we are. And just sharing some cool stories. Today I have one member of Midnite Gossip, a really just a cool sounding band I heard one night, late night scrolling as I usually do before I go to bed. And man, it reminded me of so much stuff I like. And Nicky, we've got Nicky and Mickey. Mickey isn't joining us. We have Nicky, the lead singer of Midnite Gossip. Welcome to my show here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to chat with you.
And Nicky's just up the highway for me in Calgary, Alberta. And yeah, how long you been doing this? How did you get started? And let's go from there.
Well, I've been a musician for since I was a kid. So I actually learned how to play my mom's old classical guitar when I was 14. So I'm self-taught at basically everything that I do. And yeah, so I always wanted to pursue this path. Didn't really know how to for a long, long time. I had a solo project for a really long time as well. And Mickey as well has a solo project still. And we actually met in the MySpace era. So we actually knew each other from way back in the day. And yeah, so we always kind of followed each other for a lot of years, just supported each other's projects. And then in 2022, he was off of social media for a long time, and then he came back to social media. And yeah, he kind of quit music for a little while, came back to social media, and was looking for, kind of something else to do, someone else to work with. And I was kind of in the same space as that. And so we ended up reconnecting over Instagram in 2022, and he was kind of joking. He's like, "Oh, if you ever need a drummer." And I was like, "Well, I do actually need a drummer. I'm looking for someone to collaborate with." And it's really interesting because a lot of the things that he was looking for, his checklist of all the things that he wanted in a bandmate, or the music he wanted to pursue, and all the things that were on my kind of checklist, basically they both lined up. So it was just this kind of funny reintroduction to each other. It's like dating a new bandmate for a little bit kind of thing. And yeah, we basically started chatting again September of 2022, and we put out our first single in December of 2022. So it was a pretty quick turnaround, and yeah, we've done a lot of really cool things ever since.
Now, the band name Midnite Gossip. I live in a small town of 3,800, so if we had a band here, it'd be called 10 a.m. Gossip at Tim Hortons. But
We
it's kind of a
we
tongue
always
in
joke, we're like, if we had a different, an afternoon band, we'd be like afternoon rumors.
check.
Like a folk version of Midnight Gossip or something.
There you go. 6 p.m. Secrets. And just
Yeah,
pretty
exactly. We're
fancy, you
like, we
know.
could have a lot of fun with that name.
So where did that name come from? Who came up with that? You or Mickey, or how did that come about?
Yeah, so that was actually I had actually switched my solo project name over to Midnight Gossip before Mickey and I started working together. I was doing a lot of really more singer-songwritery kind of music, and that just really wasn't what I wanted to do. Like, I didn't want to be stuck behind a guitar. I wanted to be the front woman of a band, and I wanted to produce, and I was learning production at the time too. Um, and so I had come up with that name because one, it's kind of like a twofold thing. So one, it's midnight gossip, as far as a lot of the times when I'm falling asleep at night, it's I'm super ADHD, so it's a lot of ruminating thoughts kind of happening in your head, and a lot of my song ideas or things like that happen around that time, right when you're falling asleep, or kind of sleepless nights. And so a lot of the songs and a lot of the context of where it comes from is that that midnight gossip in your
Mm.
head kind of thing. And I don't know, just kind of even being a girl and stuff, it's a kind of reclaiming the word gossip as well, that it doesn't have to be such a negative thing. But yeah, it really has to do with those kind of late night ruminating thoughts. And that's where, a lot of these songs really come from.
So you've got a lot of live performance videos on your TikTok. Tell me about your very first time you performed live. Where was it, and how terrifying was that?
You know what? It was actually really terrifying. So, funny enough, our very first show was actually my mom's birthday. It was April 8th, 2023. So that's an easy day for me to remember. Um, but yeah, we played at Gravity Cafe here in Calgary. And I was scared shitless because I was used to playing behind a guitar by myself. I was used to doing that, and this was actually stepping into the version of me that I've always wanted to be, right? It was like, oh, I get to be the lead singer of a band and be a performer. And so we did kind of like a hybrid set. We actually, it's funny because like at the time we didn't have our tech set up in the way that we do now. And so we scrambled to produce a bunch of songs. Because we only had a couple songs, so we self-produce everything, scrambled to like yeah, produce a bunch of songs, literally played it off an iPod, like an old school classic iPod. Yeah, at Gravity. It was so funny. And it went really, really well. But yeah, I was terrified just because it was actually the thing that I wanted to do. And it made me at least aware that we could do it. So our next show after that actually was like a 1 hour set at a music festival, which we thought was like the craziest thing. We got to open up for Loon, which is Lights DJ alias. So like Lights, who just got inducted into like the Billboard, whatever, I can't remember, the Visionary Award. But yeah, like we're a huge fan of hers, and it was like our second show ever was like a festival getting to open up for her. Like we were just like, this is massive and amazing. So yeah, it's been a pretty cool journey so far.
See, I used to do karaoke 5 nights a week in Calgary. Um, I was at Bootleggers, O'Reilly's, all the staples every night of the week. But I was always very intoxicated before I'd even get up on that stage. I was a bit of an alcoholic for like 25 years, but sober 3 years and a month now. But
Well, congrats to you.
about 6 months ago, my girlfriend said, "Hey, there's this concert at my church. I'd love to have you play." And she gives me so much self confidence. I did it. I almost fainted, but so I was playing Hard Fought Hallelujah in front of maybe 300 people, mostly 65 and up. So they all come up to me after, like, "Oh, did you write that song? It's so beautiful." Or they have no idea who Jelly Roll is or Blake or Brandon Lake. But yeah, once I did that, it completely changed my life. Even on here, just talking to people, like it's if you can get up and do that in front of people sober, you can do freaking anything. And
Yeah.
here I
Yeah.
am, my high tech pizza box in the window, guiding the light from my head, talking to.
I think it's like I will say as a musician, like as even like public speaking, like even again posting online and stuff, like nothing other than exposure therapy really gets you to do it. Like you have to take that leap to do it, but to be in front of a crowd that big and to be well received, like you're just like, oh, and again, all the things that we think that people might be thinking of us, like isn't actually true, right? Like people are just like, oh my God, this is amazing, and you're doing this really cool thing. Nobody's really judging you.
How do you deal with the? Do you ever get any trolls online? I used to get so many of them. Now they don't even phase me. I just don't care anymore. It's the MySpace era too, but people
I
couldn't
think,
comment
yeah,
on my MySpace page, so it's a whole different world.
yeah. I don't really get, I feel like I've only ever had like a couple, and like if I do, I'm like, the amount of energy it takes for someone to say something like mean or nasty or rude or something, that's like the amount of energy it takes. It's like, I'm like, either way, you're talking about me and I've made an impact on you, so whatever, right? And the other thing too is like the beautiful thing about social media is you can just hit block or you can just delete it too, right? Like it doesn't have to um hit you right to the core, right? Like, or it can for a minute and then you're just like, oh yeah, delete, eh. Or leave it there. Sometimes it's funny and I'll troll them back.
Yeah, it is funny to troll them back sometimes. Last week, Men's Humor in the States. I guess 5 years ago, I had posted a picture of me and my daughter when I was really big, and then a picture after I'd lost a ton of weight. And now, of course, things are so different. I was like, "Oh my god, Ozempic is amazing," blah blah blah. Like, no, man, I worked my freaking ass off, and your little comment, you just want me to respond to it. You want me to
Hmm.
click like to it, and my daughter says, "You don't feed the trolls, Dad. Don't feed the trolls." So she's pretty wise for 11 years old.
Well, it's smart though. But again, she also grew up with technology.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have my first cell phone till I was 19,
And I remember when
a different era.
we did something stupid in school. That was it. People forgot about it in 3 days. Now
Yeah.
it's there. It never goes away.
Oh
I hate
God.
to be in school right now. I'd be suspended so much.
I would hate it. I would hate it absolutely. I would not want to be anything other than my age now, that's for sure.
How do you how do you feel music helps you with your own mental health? Like as a release, just dealing with anything.
Yeah, no, it's a big part of why we do what we do. I mean, Mickey and I have so many discussions and we're very intentional, right? Like we write, record, produce everything. Like we have our hands very much on every aspect of our music, and it's very intentional because it is so reflective of what we're moving through. And it's so interesting, like um even like Streetlights, our very first single that we released, like that was a song I wrote in like 2010-ish. So it was a really old song, but it was like winter time. And so we're like, let's release something kind of wintry. But it was interesting going through the process of releasing that because that song, even though I wrote it so many years ago, was really about what we were both kind of dealing with at the time. And it was like, again, it was winter and stuff too, but it was like those kind of drawing on those like lonely feelings because I think for both him and I, we both felt really lonely trying to pursue music by ourselves and like trying to go at it alone. And it was just like kind of this cathartic process for us to go through and learning how to actually work with one another because we're like, he plays drums and I sing, but like we're not in the room playing instruments together. Like we produce everything on a computer. So it's like, how are we gonna figure out how to collaborate? So that was part of the journey. Um, and then same thing too when I wrote when we released our second single with Tightrope, it was kind of the same thing too. It's a new song, and so it was really about um, choosing you. Like it was like a lot of decisions that we had been making and things that were going on in our lives are very reflective of that song. Of yeah, like basically, you know, the whole thing of like every opportunity isn't a good opportunity, and choosing you, right? Like walking this tightrope of being like, I need to make a decision for me, and then walk that rope, alone essentially, and hope you get to the other side, right? And so for us, it's just like all of these songs mean a lot, and for whatever reason, whatever's going on in our lives at that time is like it's kind of like that art reflecting life thing constantly. So we're also very like conscious of what we write and the words that we say because we realize it kind of is the manifestation of what ends up happening in our world around us, and it's been kind of um, what's been happening. So we're like, okay, we'll make sure to like write really cathartic songs, but nothing that's going to be like super depressing or angry or whatever, right? Like we like to resolve our music because yeah, it is part of the world that we end up living in. And again, when people are listening to it as well. Um, I've had a lot of people recently reach out to me too and just be like, your music is so high vibe, it's so good, it's so this, it's so that. And it's really nice to hear that people are hearing the intention that we're putting into the music because, it's we kind of like, it's like conscious pop or like kind of smarter. It's not like dumb. We're not trying to dumb down our music for anyone, and we're just making what we want to make for us as a cathartic thing for us. But knowing that it helps other people is amazing.
I love it. So we'll sneak in a listen here to Streetlights first, and then we'll continue talking.
And I can see you now. A streetlight shine silence. It's getting too cold and I can't breathe. And I'm walking right past you, and you don't even see me. No, you don't even see me.
When I heard by you guys, and the only words I can describe it, and you can use this if you like, total ear massage. Like
Love it.
soul massage. I don't know. It reminds me of I don't remember the name of the band, but they used to sing this song Royal, and that and a little bit of Paramore I get in there. It's very original too, but it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of puts me in a trance. As someone that had PTSD for over 25 years, music is my escape. Like I've been to over 250 concerts, 249 metal, one rap, and one country, I think. So it's I think
I love that you know those other genres.
I've seen them many times. Motley Crue is my favorite band, so I love every kind of music. My playlist has hard rock, 80s, reggaeton. So there's a lady on TikTok. I'm trying to get her on. All she does is takes grunge rock and metal songs and plays them on the cello.
Oh, amazing. Love that.
It's so cool. I love finding weird stuff like that too. But yeah, I really enjoyed that song. So we're gonna have a listen to one more shortly here. So I gotta ask you, without revealing your Facebook passwords here, what was your first band you ever saw live?
The first band. The first concert I ever remember going to was Paul Brandt, actually. I remember when I was quite young. Yeah, I went with my mom. And I think the first concert that I grew up going to like Britney Spears, like NSYNC, like Backstreet Boys. I got to see all of them too. So like definitely grew up on that pop type music, and then got really into like emo and like post-hardcore and stuff like all throughout like high school. And I still listen to like so many of those bands. Like the Starting Line just released a new album and I'm just like, oh my God, my like teenage dreams just like
Nice.
listening to that kind of music. So yeah.
My first ever show was Mr. Dress Up and Fred Penner. So I can't really call it my first concert, even though it was, but watching that documentary just hit me hard. I was like, I was a mess. But my first real concert was Alice Cooper and Motorhead. And I was in grade 7. I couldn't hear for 2.5 weeks straight. And
Yep.
Motorhead was loud, and we were 3 rows back, but it was pretty powerful.
Yeah, I worry about the damage I've done to my ears going to festivals and concerts my whole life. I'm like, oh no, I better be extra safe now. So
Now, if you don't mind me asking, if you don't want to answer this, we can edit it out. But the other day I posted a song that I had written. I just lost a cousin who's 2 years younger than me, and he was never. My family's all church. My parents are ministers. I ran away for 25 years, but I just went back. My girlfriend let me there. So I wanted to write a song about him because 48 hours before he died, he asked for a Bible. And, that last moment to say, hey, you know what, just take my life and go with it. So when I saw you commenting on that, that really hit me. Do you want to talk about why or how, or if you don't want to, it's okay. I can edit the song.
yeah, no, I cancer is just really prevalent in our lives right now. My partner was actually just diagnosed with cancer last year, so not something I've really spoke to a lot about because I know for myself I'm still processing that, and we're still very much going through it. Like he is fine now, but yeah, that was a big journey. And you kind of asked me earlier about how music is healing, and so he was in the hospital for 7 weeks. He had to go in for emergency surgery when they found the tumor. So it was very stressful. But while he was in the hospital and I was going back and forth to the hospital daily, I knew that I had to get Tightrope finished, right? And so even that song, like we were finishing that, I'd be like driving back and forth to the hospital late at night and like listening to the new mixes of that song and like working through that process. And like that was a bit of my, I don't want to say distraction, but like a bit of catharsis of, okay, there's this crazy thing going on in my life that just came out of nowhere that we have no idea what's happening and what the future looks like. But one thing I do have control of is creation and making music and putting my energy towards something that is healing, not only for me and hopefully for other people. But so like that time period was like literally we were finishing off that song and released it just as he was like getting out of the hospital and stuff too. And yeah, and so it's just, you know, being in the hospital every single day, you know, for 7 weeks and seeing how full it is and how many people are there and how hard the nurses work and just like how many sick people there are. And, you know, for me, it just like gives me this deep sense of like, I have to do what I'm doing. Like I have to play music. I have to follow my dreams. I have to do all this because life is short and you just never know. And two, like it just like when I go to the grocery store, someone cuts me off in traffic and someone's having a bad day. I'm like, I don't know what their life is. They could be going to the hospital daily. And it's just kind of given me this different perspective on life, kind of going through all of that and just also realizing how many people are just silently suffering and not talking about what's going on, you know, and like I don't want to, and I'm kind of guilty of it too, right? It's like I haven't really talked a lot about my partner's journey, partly because it's his cancer journey, it's not mine. I'm just there as the support person, but it's definitely still something I'm understanding how to integrate into our lives. And so much has changed about my life in the last year because of it. And there's still just so many, you know, unknowns going forward. And, you know, he just turned 40. So it's like, he's not, you know, he's not old. And so it's like choosing to do this all the time and choosing me and not being afraid, right? Like taking chances and moving forward in life and creating something really cool, creating a legacy, right? Like that's what we're trying to build with Midnite Gossip.
I love it. You know, it's when I do these little episodes, some of them will get 25 plays, some of them will get 200, some of them will get 9,000. I don't ever really think about it or care about it because if someone's watching this right now that has a family member going through the same thing, or we play a song and it hits someone, or, you know, there's one episode I had where I had a guy on that was addicted to drugs for over 40 years, and someone watched that and they went and checked into a clinic 3 days later. So that episode had 47 views, but that one view, that's all that matters. And that's why I love this. I love talking to people. But I think this would be a good little segue here to have a listen to Tightrope, and we can catch our breaths here for a minute. so this is Tightrope by Midnite Gossip.
It's like I'm walking on a tightrope, tightrope. I can't go left, I can't go right. I need to balance my weight and keep moving forward and brace for flight. Last week I told you I wanted to leave. They said it all, now I can't sleep. No turning back on those words now. I wish you would so fast to agree. It's like I'm walking on a tightrope, tightrope. I can't go left, I can't go right. I need to balance my weight and keep moving forward and brace for flight. I packed my things in a cardboard box. I wrapped them up so neatly. There's nothing left to take back. Kinda wish you cared more than me. This is what I wanted. I was trying to whisper it politely. We found it hard to agree. I need to balance my weight and keep moving forward and brace for flight. Brace for flight, I 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 brace for flight. Tightrope, 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 tightrope.
List. This is where this question came from. A lot of people ask me why. And my last item on my bucket list that took me 20 years to complete was meet Bret Hart. He was my childhood wrestling hero. I lived in Calgary for 13 years. I'm like, I haven't met Bret Hart, so what the heck? So I put it out on Twitter before it was X, and all these people sent it to Jesse from CJ92, who is very good friends with Bret Hart. And this is just when all the COVID stuff happened. I get a video from Bret the Hitman Hart saying when COVID is over and they're playing hockey again, we're going to go watch a Hitman game together. So I got to go hang out with Bret the Hitman Hart at a Calgary Hitman game. And I didn't even watch hockey. I was just so enthralled in their conversation I had with them. But I said, listen, Bret, I'm going to ask you one question. I will bet you've never been asked in your 10,000 plus interviews. I don't know where it came from. I wasn't high. I don't do drugs. I was sober at the time, almost a year. And he said, all right, you're on. And I asked him, and he paused for about a minute and a half, and then he answered the question. So this is where it comes from. So a 100-meter pigeon carrying contest. How many pigeons could you fit in your arms and still have in your arms at the end of the 100 meters?
How many pigeons, live pigeons could I carry in my arms?
100 meters and still have in your arms at the end of the race.
Because I have ADHD, I've gotten really good my entire life at, when you do like all of the groceries in your arms and like walking up like a 4-story apartment building. So I feel like I'd actually be really good at this. But they are squirrely little guys. I know that about pigeons. I would say I could probably have maybe like 13 pigeons.
That would put you in second place overall.
Mm.
My biggest answer was 15. A little short Mexican lady, that was 4 foot nothing, said she'd strap double-sided duct tape to herself and then just put the pigeons there and put more. Yeah, it was a pretty dedicated answer, but
I know. I'm picturing like not that I would actually do this, but I'm picturing like if I was holding grocery bags, like put some pigeons in the bags, carry them, right?
And I had Leslie Horton on from Global News, and she said next question. She wouldn't even touch it because she has a phobia of pigeons and Canada geese. So she has the lowest answer of 0. You're second in 13, so that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't want to put any pigeons in danger to do said run.
Anyone from PETA's watching, no pigeons are ever harmed in any of these episodes. It's just
imaginary pigeons in my mind that are in grocery bags.
Trained pigeon. But yeah, people want to find you guys. Where are you? Spotify?
Yeah, we're on all streaming, so you can find us on Spotify, on Bandcamp. If you want to go support us there, you can actually purchase our music, and there's lots of extra like album bonuses when you buy our music there. Like SoundCloud, all of those ones, Apple Music, Amazon, and you can head to our website. You can find us and follow us on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and comment and like and share our music because we love doing this and we need the support of amazing fans to keep doing it.
Perfect. And I'm gonna request a comment once I post this live. I want to find out how many pigeons Mickey would think he would carry. So you got to ask him. That's your homework. Ask him that same question, and then I want to see it in the comments. And people were like, "What the heck is she talking about?" And then they'll got to watch the episode to find out.
Yes, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, so I'll put all your links on the bottom there. all this cool stuff my daughter tells me to say, like, subscribe, comment, share, and go check out
Smash that like button.
mash it, that like button, and go Jays go tonight. Hopefully, by the time I post this, they're on to the second round, but I'm not going to jinx them. But thanks for coming on with me. It was great chatting with you, and look forward to making the drive up the highway and or getting you guys out here to do a show at my little pub out here.
Yeah, well, actually, we'll be playing a show at Sync Sound and Image Conference on Friday, November 7th. So that'll be coming up shortly.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, everyone, take care. And if you're out there going through anything, watch some of my episodes. You never see who might be going through something like you are.
Thanks for having me.